Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Doctor's In. I'm your doctor, C.G. Weinberg, and today I have a very important prescription for you for the state of the church, the family, and the world, actually. So, what is it? 2 books, actually. Well, kind of. So, the real recommendation today is actually going to be Leadership and Emotional Sabotage by Joe Rigney. I'm bringing up this book because he does in this book. So, Leadership and Emotional Sabotage. By the title alone, you should see or understand why this would be needed in our culture today. Emotional sabotage is prevalent throughout all leadership at this point. Everyone beneath you is trying to get you to do something that they want you to do, and you may or may not want to do it. You may or may not should do it. And this book is all about that. So, Joe Rigney himself does say in his book that he is trying to redo this book and make it Christian. Now, this book, Failure of Nerve, by Edward H. Friedman, and I'm going to say this right now because it's going to happen. If I talk about this book at all, I will probably say Milton Friedman at some point in time. I am not talking about The Economist. I'm talking about Edwin Friedman. I'm going to mess it up. Just the reality. Here you go. I'm not referring to the other guy at all. I'm only referring to this guy, Friedman. This Friedman. Now, Failure of Nerve, I read a few years ago, and I thought it was fantastic. The key term with Friedman is to be self-differentiated. And I think it's a great term to use because, so I like to explain it as me as an individual, I have goals, hopes, and dreams that are unique to me and no one else. So when I'm in leadership or even with a part of a team, my goals, hopes, and dreams are where I'm going. And that has nothing to do with the team. And he mainly does talk about work capacity, but there's also family, church, and world capacity. All these things do have different spheres, arenas, and hopes, goals, and dreams. So if I know what mine are, I need to function in a way that is consistent with mine, not with yours. So being self-differentiated means I know what I'm going to be doing. And I'm only going to be doing the things that I want to be doing. It's kind of how it works. So if you propose something about the team that contradicts what my hopes, goals, and dreams are, I should kindly put up a wall and say, we're not going that way. It's not the way we're going. We got a mission. I got a mission, and we're going that way. You're welcome to go off that way, depending on powers that be, authorities, whatnot. You can allow them to go off or not go off, or you may be leaving the job or whatever. But just because someone else wants to go somewhere else doesn't mean I have to do that. Super helpful way to talk about things. Now, Friedman was a Jewish rabbi turned counselor, and so he takes an evolutionary scientific approach to leadership, all about nerve. So leadership is the failure of nerve. Very helpful way to talk about it. Not a Christian way of talking about it, though. Joe Rigney, in his book, he does actually say in the introduction he's trying to redo this book in a Christian way. Now, he says that if he's trying to redo that book, I think he failed, honestly. Now, if I take this book on its own, I think it's fantastic. I think they're trying to do 2 different things. Friedman's doing one thing, Rigney's doing another. I don't actually like comparing them. I don't think it's a helpful comparison. They're trying to do different things. Now, I'm trying to think if I would recommend both books. If I have to only recommend one, Rigney has a few points on Friedman that I would point out. First off, this book is much tinier than this one. More people read all of this than read all of this. So this book wins in that one. This one's thoroughly Christian. Kind of helpful there. If you're not a Christian, this could be more helpful to you. But this is still probably more helpful. The one knock I have about this book on its own is I actually don't like his main definition at the front. So a term that he uses up front is that he says all leaders should be is sober-minded. And the way he talks about the term sober-minded is a way that I've never even thought about the term or even think what the term means. I think a better term for him would have been just strictly using self-controlled, because that's basically what he talks about. The whole book would have fit better under self-control as opposed to sober-minded. But that actually is my biggest complaint. So I'm picking on a definition, and beyond that, you should read this. Now, when he talks about the definition of sober-minded, if I negate the word and just look at this, some quotes for you. Talking about a leader, the head must have mission clarity. He must know the mission, what the mission is and what it isn't. That's really important. So the hopes, the hopes, dreams, and wants of an individual that I want, that's the mission. The head should know the mission. And he must have mission clarity on what it is in order to go forward. And he gives 3 main definitions for being sober-minded: clarity of mind, stability of soul, and readiness to act. Which is great. The way he talks about it, that sounds like more self-control. Again, nitpicking here. But it does come down to knowing what your mission is and what you're going to go do to complete it. And not letting people throw you off base. And that's the main key, is if you have a mission, so you have something that you feel that God put you here on this earth to do, you should go do that, in spite of what the people around you say. No, of course, there's listening to wisdom. If you're being an idiot, if you're sinning, you should stop. If you're being an idiot, you should reconsider. If you actually misunderstood what God's calling for you is, you should also reconsider. So, I mean, there's wisdom involved here. But if you have a firm calling of what you think, you should actually barrel down and do it. Your wife is there to help you do this. Don't allow her to distract you from the mission. Your church is a part of that as well. But to use a stereotype, the crazy church lady should not be distracting the rest of the church from the mission. And politics. The Karens of the world don't actually rule the world. We should not let them. Karen should be told to sit down and shut up and leave us alone. Because honestly, they're just fussing, and we shouldn't listen to the fussing. And that's where the clarity of mission is helpful. That's why this book is helpful. So if you are above 13 years old and starting to get into power dynamics, so authority structures, you should read this book. Young people, you should read this book because your parents are right. You should shut up and follow. Just the reality. Fathers, you should read this book because you should be leading your families. And I would say Rigney's a dad. I think he does a really good job of writing this without stating it. He does write it very much father focused. So when your wives read this book, which they should as well, they should be looking to interpret this and how they should use this as a wife. But fathers, this is actually, I'd say, written for you. Rigney doesn't say that it is, but it's terribly father-focused, headship focused. Maybe he said in the introduction. I didn't pick up on it. If he didn't, he should have. If he did, my bad, Joe. I'm sorry that I missed it. But the book overall is actually fantastic for leadership. So look at how it applies to you and apply it that way. But this is something our culture is massively missing. So please go pick up a copy of this book. If you need more than one source, this is still a great one. I will post links to both these below. They are fantastic books on their own. Do not be the type of person that takes the mission off course. Don't be a Karen. Don't be the old church wife. Don't be the nagging wife. Don't be the one throwing the mission off course. Be the one that is helping the mission go forward and stay strong. That is Joe's point. Don't crumple under pressure. Don't crumple under emotional sabotage. Don't let the emotions of others change the way you know is right. Change what you know is right. Go forth and do what is great. So this is your prescription today. Go forth and read this. Give it a like if you have read this book and like this book. Comment below the things that you think are best about this book. If you've read it, or this one too, just make sure you delineate in the comments below. If you have someone in your life that is in leadership, that is struggling with this, please share this as encouragement to them, because it will encourage them. It will help them be a better leader, and it will encourage them. So share this with them. And subscribe if you want to know when my next video is. But with all that, the doctor's out.